Vicario next. There's been some more information regarding Vicario. Fabrizio Romano says that Vicario left out of Tottenham's pre-season tour as he's fully expected to leave the club this summer. Spurs are understood to value Vicario in the region of £25 million. George Sessions says that Juventus expected to step up the pursuit of Vicario. Loan with an option to buy would be Juventus's preference for Vicario, but loan with a conditional obligation, a potential solution. I think I saw somewhere that they had a bid rejected for Emi Martinez in the last 24 hours. So maybe that's going to turn their heads to Vicario now.
Well, Tom Allnut says he's been left out because he's got an ankle sprain.
Bullshit. They said that on the official website. They said he's left out because of injury. But I am not buying that for 1 second.
No one is more injury prone than a player who's looking to leave. I think it's fair to say they're the most injury prone players on the planet. Every time that around this kind of time as well, like pre-season tour, who's going and who's not. Always, they've got a little niggle, they got an injury, they're left out. It's January transfer window or whatever. They're being left out because they've got a little injury. Yeah, of course. Yeah, obviously it's absolutely rubbish.
I'm surprised Bergvall doesn't have an injury now, to be fair.
Well, maybe that transfer is not as certain as we think it is, and we'll get to that maybe. But yeah, when it comes to Vicario, he's off. We know that. I don't know when, where. We'll see. We'll see what happens with him in Juventus. I think, obviously, Emi Martinez is their first choice still, but Villa seem very certain to keep him. So it's easier. We're an easier deal to do because we want to sell, and Villa don't. So Vicario is definitely an easier deal to do. It's just whether they're willing to kind of take maybe a bit of a worse keeper.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw yesterday on the update. SZY said that Spurs could still be looking to bring in a goalkeeper. Kinski will be assessed in the first. I mean, it was a weird update. He said that Kinski will be assessed before the transfer window closes, and Spurs could still go in for another goalkeeper. And Dubravka is seen as a third choice keeper. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
But that's what he said. I was like, what are you talking about?
So we could still sign a first choice keeper with Kinski number 2.
That's what he's suggesting, yeah.
I mean, at the start of the window, that wouldn't have massively surprised me because I've always said, like, Kinski had a great 7 games, but is that enough to be our number 1 over however long? It's a bit of a risk, but obviously he signed that contract, 5-year deal, and the way they announced it was implying, okay, he's getting the trust of the team, the squad, and the manager, and he was saying he's so thankful to have the trust of the manager, and it was all obviously they didn't outright say it, but it was all implying he's going to be our number 1 next season, and that's why he's getting this new deal. So if they now come around and say, actually, we are going to sign a guy to either compete or be ahead of Kinski, I don't know what kind of message that sends out. It would seem very odd. Very odd to me with that. And obviously Trafford's about to go Leeds, it looks like, so it's not going to be him. Who are we going to sign?
Yeah, I know. Right. It's a weird one. Strange one. I guess we'll have to wait and see how that one progresses. But I don't think anything will progress. I think it'll just be Kinski, number 1 till at least January. Let's talk about Lucas Bergvall then. Obviously on the tour, currently just landed in Auckland. Team Talk reporting that Brighton are preparing to make a major push to sign Lucas Bergvall. Spurs' £60 million valuation is not putting off teams. Brighton are ready to move, and Nottingham Forest is still very keen as well. We heard, obviously, Newcastle made a bid that was rebuffed by Tottenham. I can actually see some legs in this. I know Team Talk not the most reliable source, but that's the kind of player that they would go for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me at all, but it's all very strange we'll talk about Bentancur in a moment, but Bentancur's been left out the tour. Bergvall's gone on the tour, yet Bergvall went out of the World Cup after Bentancur did, so surely Bergvall should be the one who needs a bit more time, not Bentancur. So why is Bergvall there and Bentancur not? Obviously, most of the noise from the club side is that we don't want to sell Bergvall. Obviously, the noise from Bergvall is he wants to go and he wants opportunities and all that kind of stuff. But we've so far rejected all the bids and some of them quite decent bids, of 46 million. We've rejected them. So I think 60 million, if someone bids that, surely that's too much for even us to hold out on.
Yeah.
I know Bergvall's a talented player, but 60 million is just, that's too good an offer. And even if we sell him and Bentancur, we'll get into Bentancur later. I mean, you can go for someone else potentially of a high quality, and we could talk about that. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, Brighton might be looking at Bergvall. Obviously, he's got a friend there in Ayari who plays with him in the national team as well. He could definitely be a very Brighton kind of player. I could see that. Very technical, good physically as well. I mean, the only thing is, a bit like Vuskovic, like if Brighton are in for him, he must be really good because Brighton have a great scouting
He is
team,
very
so
good. We know he's very good.
yeah, we know he's very good.
That's no secret. But the interesting thing about this whole Bergvall and Bentancur thing is that SZY actually was speaking about Alex Scott, and he was saying that Alex Scott will prioritise completely a move to Tottenham over anyone. He's obviously heavily linked with Chelsea right now, and he's very open to joining Chelsea. But apparently, he is stalling on the move to go to Chelsea. Maybe there's something going on in the background there with Alex Scott, Bentancur, who knows? But, I think there could be something going on in the background here.
That would be amazing if we sell Bergvall and Bentancur, bring in Scott. That would be incredible. But then I don't know what to do with that. I mean, we're keeping Sarr, I guess. I don't know. But whatever.
Maybe you could sell Sarr and Bentancur, keep Bergvall and Scott.
That would be incredible. That would be incredible business. Well, let's not get too excited about that just yet, but that would be amazing. I would 100% do that.
And
100%.
Take him under Chelsea's noses as well.
Oh my God. Oh, as I've always said, Alex Scott, when you've got someone who's fully COYS like him and who's good as him, it'll be a real shame to waste that, and not have him play for Tottenham.
Yeah.
Because we've had enough instances where good players, and there's a situation where they've only wanted Arsenal, whoever else. It's not. I mean, I know it's a shame, but it's not so often where you get a star player like that who's a proper Spurs fan from young. It's not the most common thing, unfortunately. So when you've got someone like that, I just don't think we should waste that opportunity.
So you think we should go for Konsa as well?
Is he a Spurs fan?
Yeah.
Is he?
Konsa, yeah.
Like a big
Konsa.
one?
Yeah, he's a Spurs fan.
Didn't know that. Yeah, go for him as well.
Bring them all in.
Yeah, I want a team of fully COYS. That's what I want.
And look, even if the Scott thing doesn't happen, there's also Morgan Gibbs-White that you could go back in for again as well. I think either of those two would be fantastic signings to complete that midfield if some of those midfielders do end up leaving.
Definitely.
So, yeah, let's get into Bentancur because SZY has done an update saying that Spurs will listen to offers for Bentancur. His future isn't certain. And that's the first thing I thought of when I saw him not on that list. And Spurs was like, they've left him and Pape Sarr. They've given him and Pape Sarr extended leave. Like, what does why have they given them extended leave? Just makes no sense whatsoever. Like you mentioned before, there are players, more than one player, in the team right now that have gone on the tour that last in the World Cup longer than both Bentancur and Sarr. So why the hell have Bentancur and Sarr both been given extended leave? It's been obviously very, it's been said that we're looking to move on Sarr. There's just not been that much interest in him. So maybe the Sarr one makes sense. But the Bentancur thing, nobody has said anything about him leaving. But I think Spurs might be looking to move on both these guys.
I mean, that's what I would assume because Bentancur went out in the group stages in the World Cup and also Sarr barely played as well. So neither of them really have the need to, especially if like Bergvall and stuff's on the tour, neither of them really need that extended leave. What would they need it for? Not because they need more time off. It wouldn't make too much sense compared to other players. So something has to be, I think something a bit fishy is afoot, in my opinion, when it comes to especially Bentancur. Everyone, I guess, has just assumed Bentancur, considering how he ended the season, those last 7 games, he was definitely going to be one of De Zerbi's guys. But then, De Zerbi said himself many times, "Oh, Paulini, I definitely want him to stay." Blah blah blah, and he ended up actually not really wanting him to stay, and wanting him out. So, was it just a case of getting the best out of Bentancur for those 7 games, and now he's actually willing to get some good offers for him? Which I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be. I've obviously got mixed feelings about because I like Bentancur, but at the end of the day, if we're being the barefaced facts are, ever since the injury, he's just been inconsistent. That is just the truth. We have seen glimpses of him back to his best, but he's just never ever really hit the heights of when he was. Look, there's been some good performances and good moments, and I don't think he's been truly bad, but he's not been truly outstanding or good either. That's the truth. So if we get the opportunity to move him on, I don't know how much we would demand, you reckon 25, 30 million, something like that for him?
I think less.
What? No, why not? That's not a bad price.
I think about 15, 20 million.
15 million for Bentancur?
Yeah, I think so.
That's really low, isn't it?
Yeah, he's turning 30 this season. I don't think he's got that much of a market value, to be honest. And I think I don't think he'll end up staying in England. I think he'll go back to Italy or go somewhere around Europe, and we know they pay less.
I think 15 million would be. He's only got a year left, someone says. Is that true? Maybe that makes sense then. I think you should try and get 20 million for him. No, didn't he just sign a contract though?
Well, they're not rumours of it. I don't know if he actually signed it.
Well, I thought he signed one not that long ago.
Bentancur did sign a contract. His contract runs till 2029. It's not a year left.
Okay, not a year left then. I think we should be trying to get at least 25 million for him, in my opinion. I don't think that's outrageous. 25 for Bentancur is. I don't think that's a bad deal. I think that's decent money, decent signing in this market. I don't think 25 million is a bad deal for Bentancur. Anyway, we should try if we do sell him. I'm not that against it. If we're going to reinvest in maybe an Alex Scott or someone else, or maybe if that means we've been saying, haven't we? We would rather sell Bentancur than Bergvall because Bergvall, as much as Bentancur might be a better player now, Bergvall is going to be a better player for the long term and maybe won't take too much catching up with Bentancur. So the only thing is, Bentancur showed last year in those 7 games when he came back, he did make a massive, massive difference. I guess the difference now is we have Tonali and Fernandes, so he shouldn't make as much difference as he did last season, if we're being honest.
If I'm Bentancur, I'm looking at the situation being like, well, you've just signed these players and spent 200 million on these 2 top midfielders. I'm clearly not, a big look, you're a big midfielder, but I'm not a starter anymore. So maybe he's looking at the situation being like, well, I need to go play football somewhere.
Yeah, he could be feeling that as well. Maybe he wants out. Who knows? I think it would be a shame because I think he showed what he could do under De Zerbi in that very short amount of time. So I think having him for depth would be good. But as I say, if we're going to sell him and Sarr and keep Bergvall and reinvest in another midfielder, I'm not against that whatsoever.
Yeah, look, when the Bergvall news came out, I said to you many times, like, we should not be getting rid of Bergvall. We should get rid of Bentancur and then push Bergvall into Bentancur's position, and that sees enough minutes for Bergvall to carry on his development. So I think if Bentancur goes, as much as he is the better player right now, I think Bergvall can very quickly get to that level. So I think it's the right move to move Bentancur on this summer, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing is, if Bentancur goes and Bergvall stays, and then you've got Tonali and Fernandes, the only question you look at that midfield is, as much as they're all good players, like, is there enough steel in there? Is there enough grit? Do we need a bit of that? Do we need someone who's going to put in some tackles and that kind of stuff, or is that not maybe how Deserbi's going to play? And I
think Tonali and Mateus Fernandes put in a lot of tackles, a lot. They're very aggressive players.
Yeah, but you wouldn't classify them as defensive midfielders, would you?
No, they're not. But they're players. Well, some say Tonali's, and they both consider themselves as number 6s.
Yeah. I guess if that's the case, then we don't need Son at number 6. But I don't know. I guess you look on the face of it. Is there a risk that you need some just dual winning? I mean, I guess they do win. It depends. I guess depends. Maybe the idea of what we need or what we want. I mean, bloody he
They
played.
both are dual winners. Mateus Fernandes and Tonali are both dual winners. That's one of their
Played,
strengths.
he played Williams, Barnett, and Donnelly in a double pivot the other day. So what do I know?
All right, let's move on from that. Let's talk about Alfie Dorrington, an interesting situation regarding Dorrington. So he was all set to go play in the Polish league, and now the move is off as Dorrington has had a change of heart and he wants to find a club ideally in the Championship. So, yeah, fortunately for Dorrington, he's not going to play in Poland anymore.
Yeah, fair play to him. Don't blame him. I think that's definitely better for his career if he goes to the Championship than goes off in Poland. So I think he's done the right thing. But obviously, finding a club in the Championship is going to be tough, isn't it? It's not an easy thing to do, especially given how his career's gone. It's just not gone great. So where was he? He was at Salford last season.
Yeah, not doing much, to be honest. Not much game time.
And where are they? They're in League Two,
League One.
League One. So I think he might have to settle for a League One or League Two team, to be honest. I don't know who he's struck to find a Championship team.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Maybe go back to Scotland or something. You know, he did okay at Aberdeen at times, won a trophy there as well. Maybe he finds another club in Scotland. Who knows? Oh, they're in League Two, not League One. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with Dorrington. And last but not least, we spoke yesterday about the academy players that are going to get the trust, that have the trust of Roberto De Zerbi, or who he highly regards. And one of them was obviously Lucas Williams-Barnett. There's Junai Byfeld, Callum Olasesi, and another player that has the trust, who is highly regarded, is Malachi Hardy. Sam Tabital saying that he recently signed a long-term deal with the club and he's highly regarded at Tottenham Hotspur. And that second half, I thought he was fantastic. He really was at that right centre-back position. So calm, composed, confident. He's on the tour as well, so it'll be interesting to see more of him.
Yeah, I think that was so encouraging with a lot of the youngsters against the MK Dons, how they were performing. And De Zerbi has a good history of bedding in young players into his squads and stuff. So all this news is really, really encouraging. I mean, off the back of we were talking the other day about, are we selling too many youngsters and are we selling too much? And now we're talking about integrating all these other youngsters potentially and them not having all the trust. That's really encouraging. Malachi Hardy, he seems big, tall. He seems someone who's really good on the ball. I really like the look of him. I did really like the look of him. So let's see. I mean, when they say they're going to have the trust and all this kind of stuff, does that mean they're going to be in the first team next season? Does that mean they're just got there in our long-term plans? Is that what it means? Because I think when it comes to these players being in our long-term plans, you just never really know what the future holds with a lot of these players. You can think they're great now, and then once they turn 20, you get a good offer and they're gone. Like a lot of our players that's happened this summer. So I hope all these players we're talking about, they seem like it seems as though we right now want the trust in them, but until they're like integrated to the team, you can never know if they ever will be. That's the reality.
Yeah, and you look at these positions, the centre-back position is obviously heavily stocked. We've got 2 centre-backs on the right, we've got 2 centre-backs on the left, and now we've got 2 centre-backs from the academy that are highly rated in Junai Byfeld and Malachi Hardy. So, look, Junai is 17, Malachi is 18, so they've got a lot of time on their hands. Junai and Luca Williams-Barnett can't even go on loan because you can't go on loan till you're 18. So maybe they'll just be in and around the first team this year without getting too many minutes. Whereas Malachi, maybe you look to loan him out for the year because you can't have a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old playing third choice. So I don't know, unless they just play in the under-21s, but maybe that's below their level now. It's an interesting one.
Yeah, I think... Luca Williams-Barnett was playing. I mean, that must have been. Was that his first ever game against like proper, like?
Well, he came on against Doncaster last season, didn't he?
Yeah, but okay, fine. But like 45 minutes,
Yeah.
like against a proper men's team, I can't think of when else he would have played
No,
against.
no, that was his first time. I mean, I don't know what kind of team MK Dons even had out for the second half. I don't know
Yeah,
if it was their first team, their second team, or what. I don't know.
he was playing central midfield and he was incredible,
Yeah.
absolutely incredible, and what a talent. So yeah, we should try. I mean, he looks like he's really he looks a lot bigger than he was when we came on against Doncaster, 100%. So
What I
very,
would
very
say about them two, Luca Williams-Barnett and Junai Byfeld, even Malachi Harder, they all look physically ready. They do. Like Junai, when he came in for those appearances last season, you know, not the Liverpool game, but a few other games, the Champions League and whatever, he looked the same as anyone else physically.
yeah. Well, if you're good enough, you're old enough. That's the reality. Doesn't matter how old you are. If you're up to it, then you should be getting up chances. So I think De Zerbi will be looking at that talent and he'll be thinking, I could use these kids. I think these guys could definitely be of use throughout the season. So I think Junai and Williams Barnett, if they can't go on loan, might as well keep them around the first team. I think
Yeah.
get under 21. So I think they've already shown that they could make an impact. Could Williams Barnett be another Rashford or something like that? Who knows? Sometimes there are kids who are just ready.
I mean, those
You know?
two passes he made, that one for Richarlison and that one for Yang Min Hyuk, was just wow. Haven't seen passing like that at Tottenham since Tom Huddleston.
It was just his decision making, his ability to like burst past the player, then on the run play a pass like a through ball, inch perfect. Like that is not easy to do. There are players currently playing in the Premier League who can't do that. Like it was something to behold. So I'm can't wait to see more of him during the tour. I'm certain we are going to see more of him, and that was so exciting. So
Yeah.
exciting. Malachi Hardy was great. A lot of Donnelly, we didn't see too as much as from Donnelly, but
I thought Donnelly was poor, to be honest.
yeah, but I'm super excited about seeing more of Williams Barnett.
And another interesting one was Callum Olusesi. I mean, every time we've seen him in the first team, he's looked very good as well.
True, but
So,
what I don't understand, when would if has he not been injured?
Olusesi,
Did he play?
he's injured now. He's injured. He's not on the
I'm
tour.
saying. So when would have De Zerbi would have seen him?
God knows. Maybe he's been tracking him. Who knows?
Because, well, I guess was he on the bench during the last 7 games? Maybe because he was playing a bit during that time.
Yeah, he came on against Liverpool.
Yeah,
think.
but that wasn't Derby. But yeah, maybe he knows. Maybe he's tracked him. Interesting. Or maybe it's a club decision. I don't know. Who knows? It's hard to say.
Yeah. But look, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your report on all the news that has happened, and hopefully some more things happening. Still, we need those bloody attackers in. Desperate
Yeah.
for some attackers.
A lot of people are getting worried.